Hey everyone, this is Mary Regan. How you doing? Mary E. Regan, that's R-E-G-A-N. And on Facebook, there's my ProPublicist.com page, or ProPublicist on Facebook. And you'll notice that I have a coupon that I just put on, 25% off until the end of the year, December 30th. In terms of, new clients. They get 25% off my regular hourly rate. So let me just flip this back to the Facebook Live. And I just went to a seminar a week ago. Hi, Liz. Hi, Sherry. Nice to have you guys on. I'm new with Facebook Live. I want to start utilizing it. Like I said, I went to a seminar last week and learned a lot. My brain started ticking. I'm like, oh, this is publicity. And me with my journalism training originally, it allows me to almost feel like a reporter all over again. So I want to say hi to everyone in Portland, Maine, my hometown. I now live in Charleston, South Carolina. Big transition in mid-September. So part of me is a little homesick. It's been a major transition, but Charleston's a wonderful historic city. It's beautiful here. It's on the ocean, just like Portland. So there's some similarities in some respects, but we'll be coming up, to visit you guys and vice versa. We welcome our friends to come down and check out this lovely city. So you may wonder what the heck is, hey Carl, how you doing? I love it. This is great. All my friends are like starting to say hi. So you may wonder, what the heck does a publicist do? And a publicist does a lot of things. It just depends on if you work for a public relations agency, an ad agency. For me, my forte is writing strong press releases that get press coverage. And like I said, my training was journalism. So I was in broadcasting briefly and print. So I ran camera at Channel 6, Channel 13 in Portland. I did my internship for consumer affairs reporting. This is a long time ago, but that kind of training, it is ingrained in you to type fast, hit that deadline, on the hour, on the half hour. So I was trained to be fast, and my nickname is Rocket, and that comes from politics. But so aside from journalism and marketing, I have a background in politics. I've done a lot of campaign organizing in Maine for several years. So I have this creative side and I have this civic community side. So getting back to press releases, you may wonder, what is a press release? Because I often meet people when I'm out there, going to networking meetings and so on. They ask me, okay, what do you do as a publicist? So like I said, everyone's different. Everyone has their strength or their focus, and mine is press release. So again, what is a press release? It is essentially a news story. It is the who, what, when, why, where, and how of a news story. And so because of my training, I think I have a good understanding of what it is that reporters and editors are looking for in a story. So of course, the headline and the first sentence, first paragraph have to be pretty strong. There has to be something unique and special in the story for them to want to cover it. So that's my forte. And with me today is Ron Gill. I'll just flip around here. Ron, hang on, Ron Gill's my boyfriend. And
hi, Mary.
He's a talented blues musician. That's how we met, was music. And I am interviewing him today because I wrote public relations pieces for the Maine Blues Society. And Ron, you used to be the vice president of the Maine Blues Society. Can you speak to what I did for you guys?
Well, Mary put out, she did rather publicity for a number of events. That we had our Road to Memphis competition, which is where we get different bands and solo acts involved in a showcase. That it's a kind of a talent showcase thing that provides, or it selects acts to go to Memphis for the International Blues Challenge. And so Mary was very instrumental in getting attendance to those up, in getting publicity out to the general public as well as to musicians to be involved. And then also for the Blues Society, we had our Winter Blues Bash. We actually put on a couple of those, and that's where we hired a regional headliner to perform, and those performances were also contained the people that won our Road to Memphis competitions. So that was just a middle of the winter night of blues for everybody to come and attend, help us raise funds to send people to Memphis, as well as, of course, we had to pay the headliners and all of that. So in essence, it was getting publicity out to the general public, the music-loving public, to attend these events and come out and have a good time, because these were something where we were charging admission to go to, and we wanted to have a turnout so that we would at least somewhat break even as a blues society. And it was very good. We ended up with certainly TV coverage. We had a lot of radio coverage. I know we had some press coverage as well in those things.
Yeah, and in fact, as I mentioned, I worked for WCSH-TV, which is NBC. They're like #1 in the ratings up there in Portland. But I used to run camera there, and so I knew some of the reporters and such. And I got you guys on 207. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, their 207 show. It's a local after the news sort of a show for a half an hour, pretty much every night of the week. And so we managed to get them to take notice of the acts that we were sending to Memphis, and they featured those acts on that show a couple of times.
Yeah. So, Ron, did you want to say anything else about, public relations and...
Well, Mary's very easy to work with, and she gets a lot done, and if you need press, she gets the hits.
Thanks, Ron. That's my slogan, and I appreciate that, Ron. We're finding there's a lot of pretty interesting blues venues here in Charleston as well. And we do miss our blues music friends up in Maine and all our other friends. But so like I said, being a generalist, I've worked with musicians like the Maine Blues Society. I've worked with artists, writers, and then, like I said, because of the political civic involvement, I was the Teamsters Union, local union up there in South Portland. I was their publicist for like 3 years on and off. And so like I said, if I believe in something, aside from I can be very neutral too because of the journalism background. But what I'm saying is, in terms of being involved with nonprofits and civic things, I can be quite the strong advocate. So my ideal client, it could range from anything. Everything that I just said, I can write about events, issues, products, or services. And so because of that training, I think it allows me that ability to analyze all the angles of a situation. So generally how I operate is I do an initial free consult. We chat on the phone or email or what have you, and I find out from you what it is, what are your goals? Are you an artist? Are you trying to get an art exhibit? Who's your audience? Who are you trying to target for the media? That kind of thing. And we brainstorm. And if we both feel there's a news story there to hook the press in, then we'll, negotiate what I'll do for you in terms of writing the press release and other PR type services. Because, the other thing that I do, you can look at my website as well, which is ProPublicist.com. And you'll see, there's a write-up there about my background. But like I said, I can write in different styles: press release, ad copy. And ad copy is because I worked in radio. I'm pretty creative, and I can write ad copy, which I can voice or sing record, because I'm a singer too, for radio stations or TV. So I have that background too. In fact, when I worked for a nonprofit up in Maine, the Maine Time Banks, I wrote ad copy in 10 minutes, and I recorded it on an old radio station that's now off the air, but up in Portland, in one take. And the guy was like, "Wow, you are a pro." And it had been years since I worked in radio, but your training, it's just drilled into you. So not to brag, but that is one of my fortes. I'm also a Dale Carnegie graduate. I have a certificate from the Dale Carnegie course in South Portland, Maine, few years ago, but basically that covered persuasion and sales. So I can think on my feet, be kind of a salesy persuasion person when it comes to articulating issues. So I can help train you on public speaking. And in fact, if you look at my website, I'm going to flip this now. If you take a look at my website, which I am trying to flip to here for you. Give me one moment. I've got a couple of blogs up, and I know I need to write more blogs, and I'm working on it. But this website, I did this myself. I also have a certificate in web design, but I'm more of a content writer rather than a techie. So, but I'm a good writer and editor. So I wrote on what ProPublicist means. You can read this yourself, but essentially I'll just go through it real quick. There's my picture. That was a video that my friend Reggie Groff shot. That's a still shot from the video in Cape Elizabeth this past year. So really beautiful ocean back there. So basically, like I said, freelance generalist, but now, you know, my current client is a tech company in California. So I've been reaching out to the tech press. So I now can cover tech. And Charleston, South Carolina is a heavy tech area. So if anyone is joining in from Charleston or anywhere really, I can now cover tech. Feel free to email me, mary@ProPublicist.com. Again, the journalism background, print and broadcast, Dale Carnegie, persuasion, public speaking, sales background. I worked in telemarketing quite a bit. Campaign organizer on several political campaigns, both candidates and issues up in Maine for several years. We're talking about 18 years worth of political experience. So quite analytical, looking at all the angles. And a high-level secretary across sectors, corporate, nonprofit, government related. So I have quite a set of skills. I'm also a transcriptionist. So if you need a bunch of typing done, I type like 90 words a minute. I can type something out for you. So that's that blog. And now if I go to the other blog, I thought I'd mention public speaking because so many people are fearful of public speaking. But if you read this, it says public speaking makes many very anxious, pretty anxious. However, when I was a kid, I recall standing up before my kindergarten class doing a show and tell, and kids still do that today. So when you think about it, that really is the first time most of us had to get up in front of others to speak about a topic. This article explains how that show and tell is beneficial for kids' development. So there's a link there. Just check it out. As adults, we do a mini public speech whenever we attend. I got to edit that, I guess. Whenever we attend professional networking meetings like a Chamber of Commerce or professional association event, your elevator speech is that mini public speaking moment when you summarize who you are and what you do, usually within 30 to 60 seconds. The silent public speech is on your resume or the headline of a press release where you have to grab the reader's attention within a few seconds or you have a missed opportunity. Likewise, preparing for dealing with the press and the public goes along the same vein. There are several steps involved in this. So here are the top 5 steps I see for public speaking and prepping yourself for the media and the public. First, take a deep breath. That goes without saying, folks. If you are one of those people who get uptight about public speaking, you may wish to look into a local Toastmasters group where you can hone your writing and presentation skills and get critiqued by others. Or like me, take the Dale Carnegie course like I did. That was such an invaluable class for me because it taught me how to organize my thoughts, hone my writing skills to a focused topic, and time my speeches while also learning how to be persuasive, which is useful in so many areas in life, especially in sales. And when you think about it, when you're job searching, folks, like a lot of people out there, you got to sell yourself. So, so many situations in life, you got to think on your feet, So secondly, pick a topic that resonates with you or concerns the clients or public who are your audience. Think about what you want to accomplish. For example, if you are a firefighter giving a talk, outline the steps on how to prevent accidents and fires. Keep it simple and let the writing flow. but keep it focused. You don't want to go off in several other tangents. Keep the information relevant. So a lot of this is common sense, but I think this is a useful outline. Third, write an outline of the major topics of your speech to have on a small card when you get up to make your speech or when you need to be interviewed by the press, and rehearse that. Consider visual aids if needed to enhance your presentation, because graphics, especially if it's television news, they want that visual. Fourth, practice your speech by yourself and in front of another person or group of people, and ask them how they think you sound. Think of it in a way like a job interview, and do a question and answer practice session to answer the points you raised in your talk in a concise way. Another thing you could do is an online videotaped interview practice session with one other person via an online conference call portal such as GoToMeeting.com or another site. I just did that for my tech client, and he loved it. He embraced the fact that I was thinking outside the box and did a videotaped news interview, and then got that link up on YouTube, and then started putting it out on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And we got some national press through me thinking outside the box. So that way you can see yourself and make improvements where needed. And remember, you don't want to sound rehearsed. Just be yourself. That's so important, because, that's so important. People can see through that if you're not genuine. And fifth, lastly, you're ready to make that speech or have that media interview with the press. So again, folks, if you need assistance in prepping for the media or need a press release written, drop me a line. With my journalism background, I understand what the media is looking for and would love to work with you to help you with your publicity needs. Again, it's Mary at ProPublicist.com. Again, my slogan is, when you need press, she gets the hits. So check out my website. You'll see the testimonials, my blog, my background. I'm the youngest of 8. I grew up in Portland, Maine. 6 brothers, folks. It was a tough childhood. My mom was a widow early in life, so I had a very strong mother to look up to, and it taught my sister and I how to be very strong women. And I think all my brothers wanted me to be a nurse, just like Mom, but I was a writer. In high school, I was torn between music and writing when I took the interest test. We all take those interest tests, and I could have gone into music, but I decided, my logical brain kicked in, and I said, I think writing is, a little bit more logical in terms of a career path. And music is not an easy, it's not an easy endeavor as well. They're both competitive fields, but I think music is even tougher these days with the way the music industry has changed. So let me see if I've covered everything today. So again, like I said, I'm a generalist. I cover anything from issues, events, ideas, and products. And I have this creative side, worked with musicians, artists, writers, and then I have the civic community side where I've worked with like union stories, but I also, in my work as a high-level secretary, I worked in nonprofit and government, so and corporate. So I can write about anything, virtually anything, and get that out to the press, and get you some press coverage. So if any of you have any questions, feel free to email me. Again, it's Mary at ProPublicist.com. Share this video when this broadcasts again later, retweet it, whatever, share it with people. I work remotely out of my home through email. Would welcome, people to inquire again on my Facebook page, which is Mary E. Regan, R-E-G-A-N, and my other Facebook page is ProPublicist. So if you look at those, I have a coupon up, which is 25% off my regular hourly rate. Again, it goes without saying, I would meet or talk to you or email for free. That initial consult is free, and then we decide from there if what you want covered is newsworthy enough to go further with this. But again, aside from writing press releases, I can write ad copy, I can write news stories, I am also a transcriptionist, and I can help coach people in public speaking and help you get prepped for the media, how to deal with the media and the public. So I have an interesting array of skills. I've also done market research, competitive analysis research. So, I would love to hear from you guys, and I appreciate your time today. And I want to thank everyone. A lot of names I recognize up in Maine that are tuning in. And I want to thank you for your time today. And again, it's Mary at ProPublicist.com. And again, all of our folks, our friends up in Maine, come down to Charleston, say hi to Ron and I. We'd love to show you around. Great foodie city, just like Portland, Maine is. Excellent restaurant, food, and cultural, artistic city. And both cities are on the ocean. So we miss you all up in Maine. And I want to say hi to everybody anywhere else that's listening, Charleston people as well. Feel free to contact me, and thank you again for tuning in today. I really appreciate this. Have a great day, everyone.